Number 89. Calculate the equilibrium concentration of Zn2+ in a solution initially with 0.150 molar Zn2+ and a 2.50 molar Cn- solutions. So, in order for this question to work, we did have to go into the back of a textbook or go to some appendix or chart value to find the Kf value for a certain complex ion. Now, I did notice that we were dealing with Zn2+ and Cn-. So the only complex ion that I found a Kf value for was if we put those two together, and it became Zn-Cn4 2-. So this is your complex ion. And complex ions always go with Kf values. And F stands for formation. So you are forming these values from your two ions. So let's just write that balanced equation. So we have Zn2+ plus Cn-. They gave us the charges, so thank you so much for that. I love it when I don't have to, guess what they are or do extra work to find out what they are, because we don't guess, right? We always know. Not in life, though. Not in life. Just in chem. Anyway. So the complex ion, I did put brackets here, but I'm just going to, just for simplicity, I'm just going to say that this is Zn-Cn4 with a 2- charge. They are all ions, right? They all have charges, so that means that they're all going to be aqueous, and they're all going to be included in the Kf value. Now, just make sure that it's balanced, right? So I have 4 Cns, so I do have to put a 4 in front of the Cn, and now we are balanced. So, let's see. They did tell us that we initially started off with these values. If you have values, and they did say that they were initially in the solution, you have initial concentrations. And if you have initial concentrations, especially with K values, we're doing an ice chart. So ice table, let's go. Everyone's favorite. I'm just going to say ICE. And let's just see what we got. So I stands for initial. Initially, we have the 0.150 molar of Zn2+, so that's going for this one. 0.150 molarity for the Zn2+, and they told us that the total molarity for the Cn- was 2.50. Do not multiply it by 4. Whatever number they gave you, that's what you have to start with. So 2.50. Okay. And just making sure I just wrote down the numbers correctly. Yep. And they didn't say that I started off with any complex ion, so I'm going to label this as 0. Now, generally speaking, if we're doing, if we're like on autopilot from all of these K values that we've been doing for like 3 chapters, this would be basically -x, this would be -4x, and this would be +x, etc., etc. However, with complex ions, it's a little bit different because since the K value is so high, I mean, it's times 10 to the 19th, that means at equilibrium, you should have mostly or all of your complex ion, right? So if we actually did it like we were doing before, this would just be +x, and you're just left with the variable x. Remember, x values are usually small numbers, so it wouldn't make any sense that if this Kf value is so large, we're only going to form such a small amount of it. So this is where we go back to our, Gen Chem 1, and we do it as if it was just a regular stoichiometry problem. And we're going to assume that one of these is the limiting reagent, so much so that all of it is going to get depleted. But the thing is that we have to find out which one is the limiting, right? There's 2 numbers here. Now, you might say that it might be this one because it has a lower number. However, you can only make that assumption if the moles are the same. But this is a 1 to 4 mole relationship. So basically, you have to bring it down to the same level. So what I'm going to do is, since there's only 1 mole for the Zn2+, I'm going to keep this number, and I'm just going to put it up here, 0.150. Now, for the Cn-, I want to know what the number is on a 1 mole basis. So I'm going to take that molarity, 2.5, and I'm going to divide it by whatever moles that it is in the balance equation. There's 4 of them. So if I just take my 2.5 and divide it by 4, I will get what's the molarity for 1 mole. So 2.5 divided by 4, I get 0.625. Now, in this situation, this number was still the lowest. 0.15 is still lower than 0.625. So we can now say for certain that the zinc 2 plus is my limiting reagent. I'm just going to put it as LR. And remember, the limiting reagent is the one that gets, gone completely. Or we assume that it's going to be 0 at the end. So now when we do our change, we now know what the change is going to be. It's going to be minus this value, because the limiting reagent, you basically have nothing at the end of the day. So 0.150. And if you're subtracting from this one, you got to subtract from this one. They're on the same side. But it has to go with that mole ratio. You have now 4 of them. So you're going to lose 4 times more. So it would be 0.150 times 4. And then for your complex ion, since there was only 1 of them, this would be plus 0.150. And this is much greater than probably what the X value that we're going to find. So now let's just take them together, right? 0.150 minus 0.150 is just 0. 2.5 minus 0.15 times 4, I get 1.9. And maybe we'll throw in a 0 there. And then this would be 0.150. Okay, now here's another problem, right? I have a 0, I have a 1.9, I have a 0.15, and I have a K value. Where's the variable? Well, here's the assumption that when we subtracted these, we get nothing left. However, they're asking for an actual equilibrium concentration, so there has to be something left. So we can say that this value is so close to what the actual equilibrium concentration is. This X value is going to be so low that basically if you round, it's going to round to 0. But we want to actually find out that number, so that's the X that we're going to put in. All these other numbers are predominating, so we're not going to even care that it's plus X or minus X because we're just assuming here. That KF value is so large, so we can't assume. So now I'm just going to bring all this over. And let's now just do the math, right? So we have a KF equals concentration of products divided by reactants. So it's going to be that concentration of the ZN CN for 2 minus divided by the 2 reactants, right? The ZN 2 plus and then the CN minus. Keep in mind that there was a 4 in front of the CN minus, so I do have to take that molarity and raise it to the 4th. The KF value was what we found in the back of the book, 2.1 times 10 to the 19th. This is now just going to be 0.150. The ZN is going to be the X value, and the CN is going to be 1.90. So let's go for it. 2.1 times 10 to the 19th equals, let's see, we have 0.150, and then we have these 2 values. So we have X times 1.90 raised to the 4th. So let's just work on that for now. 1.9 raised to the 4th. I'm just going to erase this. Pull this over. And this is now 13.0321. And now I can just do my cross multiplying. So this times this. So at the end of the day, this is going to equal 0.150. That times 2.1 times 10 to the 19th. I get a long value. So 2.7367 2.741 times 10 to the 20th, and that's times x. So if we just want to solve for x, we just have to divide by that, very, very, very big number. 2.73674 times 10 to the 20th. And I'll do it on the other side too. 2.73671 times 10 to the 20th. Okie dokie. This cancels out. Beautiful. And now we're just left with the next value. Let's see. 0.15 divided by that answer. And 3 sig figs. So 5.48 times 10 to the negative 22nd. And that's in molarity. Look how small that number is. Times 10 to the negative 20th. 22nd. If we did round that number, you would round it to 0. So let's just go back. We have the x value. Let's just see. What are we actually asking for here? The equilibrium concentration of the Zn. So that was x. So if the zinc 2 plus was just x, and we found out the x, that's the equilibrium concentration for the zinc 2 plus. 5.48 times 10 to the negative 22nd. Oh boy. And there you go. So a little bit tricky because we have to do that limiting reagent, but not so much, right? I really hope this helped. Thank you so much for viewing the video. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope to be talking to you in later lessons. Have a great day. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.